The Galactic Council chamber was silent, but not calm. Hundreds of alien delegates sat in high seats made of crystal, metal, and living stone. At the center of the hall stood one human. He was not wearing armor. He did not carry a weapon. Earth's leader stood alone, hands relaxed at his sides, looking smaller than the giant around him, but not afraid. This meeting had been requested by Earth after years of rising tension. Human trade ships had been attacked. Human colonies had been pushed back. Still, Earth had chosen words instead of war. The human leader spoke clearly, his voice calm and steady. Earth does not seek dominance, he said. We ask only for equal standing, peace, trade, respect. Some aliens listened. Most laughed. A tall warlord from the Zarn Dominion leaned forward, his eyes glowing red. You are late to the stars, he said. Late species do not ask for respect. They earn it through submission. Murmurs of agreement spread across the chamber. The human leader did not raise his voice. History shows that violence creates only cycles of loss, he replied. We are here to end those cycles. That was when the feed went live across the galaxy. Millions of worlds tuned in. This was not just a meeting. It was a message. The Council wanted every species to see Earth being put in its place. The Zarn warlord stood. He did not shout. He did not threaten. He simply raised one clawed hand. Somewhere in the chamber, a hidden weapon powered up. The human leader turned his head slightly, sensing something was wrong. But there was no time. A single energy pulse struck his chest. There was no explosion, no fire. He fell to the floor, dead. For 3 seconds, the galaxy did not breathe. Then the chamber erupted with sound. Some aliens cheered. Others watched in shock. A few turned away. The Zarn warlord spoke calmly. Let this be recorded. Earth has been warned. The broadcast ended. On Earth, everything stopped. In cities across the planet, people froze as the image replayed again and again. The leader's final moments. His calm voice. His sudden fall. Children stared at screens. Soldiers clenched their fists. Scientists went silent. There were no riots, no screaming crowds, no immediate response at all. Just silence. Deep beneath Earth's surface, systems that had not been used in generations came online. Lights flickered in forgotten bunkers. Old satellites adjusted their orbits. Locked files opened for the first time in decades. A message flashed across secure military networks, short and final. Protocol Black Horizon, active. Retired admirals were awakened in the middle of the night. Engineers were pulled from civilian jobs. Ships long believed to be scrap were powered up in hidden shipyards. None of this was visible to the galaxy. Alien observers watched Earth closely. They saw no fleets launching, no angry speeches, no threats. Humans are broken, one alien analyst reported. They lacked the will to respond. The Zarn Dominion celebrated. Their armies prepared for easy expansion into human space. They did not understand humans. On Earth, a small group gathered in a quiet room. No cameras, no audience, just people who had known the fallen leader personally. A woman in a simple uniform spoke first. He believed peace was possible. An older man nodded. And because of that, we held back. No one argued. Then a young officer asked a question everyone feared. Do we still hold back? The room was silent. Finally, the oldest among them spoke. His voice was low, heavy with certainty. No, he said, we finished this. Across the planet, fleets moved, not loudly, not proudly, but with purpose. Human ships slipped into deep space using routes no alien maps recorded. Weapons were loaded that had never been tested in real war. Humanity was not angry. Anger fades. This was something colder. In a distant system, an alien listening post detected something impossible. A brief distortion, like space itself blinking. Then the post vanished. No debris, no signal, no survivors. An emergency alert spread through alien command networks. Unknown weapon, unknown ships, unknown origin. At the center of Earth, a simple memorial was already being planned. Not for revenge, but for remembrance. Humanity had tried words. The galaxy had chosen violence. And now, quietly, without announcement, Earth began to answer. The first mistake the galaxy made was believing Earth's silence meant weakness. Weeks passed after the execution. No human ships crossed borders. No messages were sent. No threats were issued to the alien empires. It looked like surrender. The Zarn Dominion began moving openly. Their fleets expanded into nearby systems once claimed by humans. Flags were planted. Outposts were built. Alien news channels mocked Earth daily. Humans barked, then fell silent. One commentator said, "Their leader's death ended their courage." What no one saw was how carefully Earth was watching. Human ships did not travel in straight lines anymore. They slipped through folded space, old tunnels, and dark corridors mapped centuries earlier and then hidden. These routes were never shared with the Galactic Council. In deep space, far from stars, a human fleet gathered. They did not look powerful. Their hulls were dark, unmarked, and old in design. No glowing engines. No bright weapons. To an alien eye, they looked outdated. That was the second mistake. Inside the command ship, human officers studied live data feeds. Hundreds of alien systems. Thousands of ships. Every weakness cataloged. A tactical officer spoke. "They think we are afraid." The fleet commander replied calmly, "Good. Fear makes enemies defensive. Confidence makes them careless." Far away, an alien mining station near human space detected a brief signal. Too short to analyze. The station commander ignored it. Their shields were strong. Their fleet nearby was large. Then space bent. Not exploded. Not torn. Bent. The station's shields did nothing. They were designed for force, not absence. In less than a second, the entire structure folded inward and vanished. No warning reached anyone. When nearby alien ships arrived, there was nothing left, just empty space where a station had existed for decades. Panic spread quietly. Commanders demanded answers. Scientists argued. Some claimed it was a natural anomaly. Others whispered a word most feared. Human. The Zarn High Command dismissed it. One station means nothing, they said. Send a patrol. Show strength. 3 warships entered the sector. They never returned. Still, Earth did not speak. Alien spies reported human cities operating as normal. Children went to school. Markets stayed open. No visible war economy. That was the third mistake. Humanity had already decided something important. This would not be a loud war. Loud wars invite resistance. Alliances, chaos. This war would be quiet, precise, final. A human strike group appeared inside an alien logistics hub, inside the shield perimeter, not through force, but through mathematics and timing. They targeted fuel depots, command relays, and shipyards. No civilian structures were touched. Within minutes, the hub was useless. Fleets across 3 systems ran out of fuel. Commanders lost contact with each other. Alien admirals shouted orders that never arrived. Then the humans were gone. Survivors described the ships the same way every time. Dark, silent, and already leaving before alarms finished sounding. The Galactic Council demanded answers from Earth. Earth did not reply. Instead, a single data packet appeared in Council archives. No sender name, no encryption. It contained one file, a timestamp, the exact moment Earth's leader was killed. Below it, one line of text. "We are still counting." Fear replaced arrogance. Some alien leaders called for peace talks. Others demanded full war. The Zarn Dominion chose pride. They ordered the mobilization of their strongest fleets, armies that crush entire species before humans ever reach the stars. Earth will fall, the Zarn warlord declared. Numbers always win. He did not understand the final mistake. Humans did not fight wars to prove strength. They fought wars to end them. In human space, thousands of ships waited, engines cold, weapons ready. Every crew knew the rule. Strike only military targets, leave no survivors who could reorganize, and never attack in anger. Above Earth, the stars looked peaceful. To the galaxy, humans were still silent. But silence, humanity believed, was the loudest warning of all. and the galaxy had ignored it. The first sign that something had gone terribly wrong did not come from a battle. It came from the stars. Across 3 alien control sectors, navigation beacons failed at the same time. Star charts updated themselves with empty spaces, where bright systems had always been. Long-range sensors returned impossible readings. Mass without matter, gravity without source. Alien pilots reported the same thing before their channels went silent. The stars are disappearing. High command across the galaxy assumed malfunction. They had not yet accepted the truth. This was not an attack on ships. It was an attack on control. Humanity had learned long ago that armies do not fall when soldiers die. They fall when vision, supply, and trust collapse. So humans did not begin with fire. They began with darkness. Human fleets moved between systems using micro windows in space, openings so brief that alien sensors could not register them. Each human ship carried no visible markings, no broadcast signal, no identity. They were ghosts. In the Zarn Dominion's outer defense ring, an entire command relay went offline. Then another, then a third. Orders from high command arrived hours late, or not at all. Alien admirals argued. Some accused each other of sabotage. Others claimed internal rebellion. None suspected humans had already mapped every relay node decades earlier. On a distant human command ship, a young analyst spoke softly. Phase 1 complete. They are blind. The fleet commander nodded. Begin Phase 2. Phase 2 was simple. Make them afraid of empty space. A Zarn patrol fleet entered a narrow corridor between 2 stars, a common route used for centuries. Halfway through, space collapsed inward. The leading ships vanished instantly. The rest slammed into invisible gravity walls, tearing themselves apart. No energy weapons were used. No warnings were sent. The survivors fled, spreading terror faster than any transmission could. Across the galaxy, rumors grew. Some said humans had learned to kill stars. Others believed space itself had turned against the Zarn. Both were wrong. Humans had not weaponized destruction. They had weaponized precision. At the heart of Earth's fleet doctrine was one rule. Every strike must leave survivors who carry fear. Total silence teaches nothing. Fear teaches everything. A captured alien officer was released near a neutral world. He carried no wounds, no threats. Only a recorded message implanted in his ship system. When played, it showed human ships erasing a military base in seconds, then stopping at the edge of a civilian city. The message ended with a calm human voice. We know the difference. The galaxy listened. Some empires began pulling their forces back, cutting ties with the Zarn Dominion. Trade routes shifted. Alliances cracked. The Zarn leadership responded with rage. They ordered a full deployment. Millions of ships, ancient war beasts, and living weapons bred only for conquest. Their doctrine was simple. Overwhelm Earth with force so massive it could not respond everywhere at once. They believed humans would finally show panic. Instead, Earth transmitted its first official signal since the execution. It was not a threat. It was a map. The map showed dozens of Zarn military worlds, shipyards, training planets, weapons factories, each one marked. At the bottom was a single line. These are already gone. Check. Moments later, reports flooded in. Each marked world was silent. Defenses offline. Fleets missing. Not destroyed. Removed. The Galactic Council went into emergency session. Some delegates demanded surrender to Earth. Others demanded the Zarn be erased entirely. On Earth, people watched quietly. No cheering. No celebrations. Humanity was not seeking revenge. They were demonstrating a truth the galaxy had ignored. When humans stopped talking, when they stopped asking, when they stopped warning, they're already at work. And the stars would never look safe again. The Zarn Dominion believed in one truth above all others: numbers end wars. So they gathered everything. From core worlds and distant colonies, their strongest armies moved at once. Warships the size of cities. Living carriers filled with attack swarms. Ancient flagships that had ended entire civilizations. The galaxy watched in fear as the largest armada in recorded history formed a single direction, Earth. Alien strategists were confident. Humans were precise, yes, but precision meant nothing against a flood. Even the quietest blade breaks when crushed under enough weight. That belief was the fourth mistake. Human sensors detected the armada long before it crossed the border. Every ship, every formation, every command vessel. On the human side, there was no panic, no emergency meetings, no speeches. Human fleets did not rush forward. They did not gather into one force. Instead, they spread out, small groups drifting into deep space, some moving away from Earth instead of toward it. Alien observers laughed. "They're scattering," one report said. They feared direct battle. What the aliens did not understand was that humans were not avoiding the armada. They were surrounding it. As the Zarn fleets advanced, something strange began to happen. Their supply ships fell behind. Communication delays increased. Navigation data stopped matching real space. Entire wings of ships drifted off course without realizing it. Human strike units appeared briefly, only seconds at a time. They did not attack the main fleet. They hit fuel carriers, repair ships, command relays, then vanished. No one chased them. Every attempt ended the same way. Lost ships, broken formations, rising confusion. The armada kept moving, but it was no longer whole. Inside the Zarn flagship, commanders shouted over each other. "Push forward," one demanded. "Earth is close." But Earth felt farther away with every passing hour. Humanity had studied the Zarn doctrine carefully. The Zarn relied on central command. One order flowed downward to millions of ships. So humans attacked the idea of one command. A single human vessel slipped into the center of the armada. It did not fire a weapon. It released a signal, short, targeted, impossible to trace. For exactly 12 seconds, every Zarn ship received conflicting orders. Advance. Hold position. Retreat. Attack allies marked as enemies. The armada tore itself apart. Ships collided. Defense systems activated against friendly vessels. Living war beasts turned on handlers they no longer recognized. By the time the signal ended, thousands of ships were gone. The human ship disappeared. The Zarn leadership finally understood they were not facing a weaker enemy. They were facing a thinking one. In desperation, the Zarn unleashed their final option. The core breakers, elite fleets authorized to destroy planets if needed. Their target was clear. Earth itself. For the first time, humanity responded directly. A calm human transmission reached every Zarn ship, every neutral world, every corner of the galaxy. "This fleet will not reach Earth," the voice said. "Turn back." The Zarn ignored it. Human fleets moved, not to defend Earth, but to intercept time itself. Near a blue star, space folded into layered walls. The core breakers entered and vanished from normal reality. Trapped in repeating space loops, their ships burned fuel endlessly, never advancing, never escaping. They would not die quickly. They would simply run out of time. Across the galaxy, fear replaced pride. Neutral worlds closed borders. Former allies cut ties with the Zarn dominion. The unstoppable armada was now broken into isolated, starving fragments, easy targets, already defeated before the final blow. On Earth, the memorial for the fallen leader was completed. No weapon stood beside it, only words carved in stone. "We asked for peace." Human commanders watched the collapsing enemy forces with steady eyes. The war was not over, but it was decided. The galaxy was learning a new rule. When humanity allows you to gather your strongest armies, it is because those armies are already obsolete, and Earth was done proving it. For the first time since the execution, Earth spoke again. The transmission did not come from a fleet or a general. It came from Earth itself, broadcast on every open and hidden channel across the galaxy. The image was simple. The final moments of Earth's leader played in silence. No commentary, no music, just a calm face, the raised alien claw, and a sudden fall. Then the image faded. A human voice followed, quiet, steady, and unmistakably controlled. "You chose this moment," it said. "We chose restraint. That restraint is now over. The transmission ended. Across alien space, alarms activated too late. Humanity revealed what it had hidden for centuries. The doctrine of final measure. It was not built for conquest. It was designed for one purpose only, ending wars so completely they could never restart. Human fleets emerged everywhere at once, not from borders, not from known routes. They appeared inside enemy space, already positioned, already locked on. Each fleet had a list. Each list contained only military targets. Shipyards vanished. Weapon forges collapsed inward. Training worlds went dark. Human weapons did not burn planets. They turned off the ability to wage war. Alien generals screamed for reinforcements that no longer existed. The Zarn Dominion launched everything they had left. Thousands of ships rushed toward human forces in one final wave. This time, humans did not disappear. They stayed. Human ships moved in perfect coordination, not as individuals, but as one thinking system. Alien targeting systems failed as human vessels shifted between physical states. Solid one moment, untouchable the next. The battle lasted 7 minutes. When it ended, the Zarn fleet was gone. No wreckage drifted. No survivors escaped. The galaxy understood then. Humanity had crossed from warning to execution. Yet something strange happened. Human ships stopped advancing. They did not move toward civilian worlds. They did not occupy territory. They did not demand tribute. Instead, human fleets formed a perimeter around former Zarn space, closing off like a quarantine. A second message was sent, this time directly to surviving alien leaders. "We are not your rulers," the message said. "We are the consequence of your decision." Captured Zarn commanders were brought before neutral observers. They were shown records. Every strike, every target, every moment humanity had chosen not to kill when it could have. The message was clear. This destruction was limited by choice, not capability. One Zarn leader fell to his knees. "You could have erased us entirely," he said. A human commander answered simply, "Yes." The galaxy watched in silence. All remaining Zarn weapons were dismantled under human supervision. Their war doctrines were erased. Their military academies shut down. The Zarn Dominion, once feared across stars, was finished, not conquered but neutralized. On Earth, people did not celebrate. There were no parades, no monuments of victory. Only one new rule was added to Earth's diplomatic records. Peace is our preference. Finality is our guarantee. The galaxy finally understood what killing Earth's leader had unlocked. Not rage, not chaos, but a calm, unstoppable force that knew exactly when to stop and exactly how far to go. And for the first time in history, every starfaring species asked the same question. If this is humanity holding back no longer, what had they been capable of all along? After the fall of the Zarn Dominion, the galaxy did something it had not done in centuries. It stopped. Trade routes went silent. Military exercises were canceled. Long-standing wars between other species suddenly paused, not because peace treaties were signed, but because no one wanted to draw attention. Human fleets did not move forward. They simply remained, positioned at key junctions of space. They did not block travel or issue commands. Their presence alone reshaped behavior. Where a human ship drifted, conflict ended. The Galactic Council reconvened under fear instead of pride. Delegates arrived early. Seats once reserved for the most powerful empires were now empty. An empty seat remained at the center. Earth's seat. For the first time in galactic history, the Council waited. When Earth finally transmitted, it was not a fleet that appeared. Only a single human representative on screen. No weapons. No guards. The voice was calm. "We are not here to rule," the representative said. "We are here to prevent repetition." The Council listened. Earth presented evidence. Intercepted communications, recorded plans, votes from the very meeting where their leader had been killed. Nothing was hidden, nothing exaggerated. Then came the condition. No species may execute another's representative under the Council banner. Violation means removal from galactic military capability. Removal, not punishment, not war. Final removal. Some delegates protested. Who enforces this? They demanded. The human answered without emotion. We do. Silence followed. Around the galaxy, human fleets began to withdraw, but not fully. They left behind something more powerful than ships. Certainty. Former enemies of Earth dismantled their weapons voluntarily. Border worlds opened humanitarian corridors. Military budgets shrank as leaders redirected resources toward survival through cooperation. Not love, not trust, respect. In former Czarn territory, civilian populations were allowed to govern themselves. Human forces assisted with rebuilding infrastructure, but never stayed long. The message was clear. Humanity did not want control. They wanted memory. On Earth, schools taught the events without glory. Children learned about restraint, consequence, and the cost of pride. The fallen leader's name was spoken not as a martyr, but as a reminder of responsibility. In deep space, a young alien captain encountered human patrol for the first time. His crew panicked. The human ship transmitted one line: "Continue your course." They did. Nothing happened. The galaxy slowly understood a new reality. Humanity did not patrol for power. They patrolled for thresholds. Cross one, and response was absolute. Stay within it. And humanity was invisible. Years later, an alien historian would write a single sentence that spread across worlds. The war did not end when the Czarn fell. It ended when the galaxy learned to stay quiet. Human fleets eventually faded into legend. Some claimed they were gone. Others believed they were always watching. Both were correct. And somewhere on Earth, beneath a sky full of calm stars, a species that had once begged for peace finally received it. Not because they asked again, but because the galaxy was no longer brave enough to refuse. Not years of war, but years of something far more unusual for the galaxy: stability. Borders no longer shifted overnight. Fleets stayed docked. Leaders spoke carefully, choosing words as the space itself were listening. Because it was. Human ships were rarely seen now. When they did appear, it was brief and quiet, arriving, observing, then fading back into the dark. No flags, no announcements. The galaxy learned to live under a simple truth. Humans did not need to be visible to be present. On Earth, the memorial to the fallen leader had grown into a place of reflection. No statues of victory stood there. Only names, those lost before the war and those saved because it ended quickly. A child once asked, "Why don't we rule them if we can?" The answer was written beneath the stone. Because ruling creates enemies. Remembering creates peace. Far beyond Earth, a new galactic charter was signed. No weapons were raised. No threats were made. The document carried one unspoken assumption: that humanity would notice if it was broken. No one wanted to test that assumption. An alien diplomat, once proud and loud, now spoke softly during a council session. "We believed humans were weak because they asked for peace," he admitted. "We were wrong. They asked because they understood what followed if they stopped asking." History books across thousands of worlds rewrote the same chapter. Not as the war of human fury. Not as the fall of the Czarn. But as the moment the galaxy learned restraint. In the far edges of space, a small alien patrol detected an ancient human probe drifting silently. Its data core still active. Still recording. Inside, a message repeated on loop, never broadcast, never sent. Observe. Learn. Do not interfere unless necessary. The patrol let it pass. They all did. Back on Earth, humanity returned fully to its old pursuits: science, exploration, art. They did not build monuments to power. They built ships meant for discovery, not domination. Yet every species remembered one undeniable fact. The most dangerous moment in galactic history was not when humanity attacked. It was when they stopped speaking. Because when Earth's leader was killed, humanity did not scream. They did not threaten. They did not rush. They decided. And that decision reshaped the future of every living world. The galaxy survived not because humans were merciful, but because humanity knew exactly how to end things and chose not to. Again, the stars burned calmly now, not because they were safe, but because they remembered